Minecraft 1.22 is just a few months from being revealed, causing many players to speculate about what the game's next update could have in store. And while there are countless ideas on what the central theme for 1.22 could be, I think there's a good chance the update has already been getting teased by Mojang. Now, what exactly is the update being teased? Well, I believe it is a warm climate biome update. I have discussed the potential of a warm climate biome update multiple times before, but it's starting to look more likely than ever. So today I want to discuss the potential for a warm climate biome update and why I think this could be happening. Before taking a look at what the update could actually have in store, let me show you why I came to the conclusion that Mojang may actually be teasing an update to the warm climate biomes. To specify which biomes these actually are, I'm talking about the desert, the savannah, and the badlands. And for those of you who don't know, these are the final 3 losing biome votes that are yet to be introduced. The fact they are the losing biome votes isn't why I believe it could be coming soon, but it's definitely important to mention that Mojang did state these would eventually be coming to the game, just not before the winner of the vote. The addition of the previous biome votes would finally leave Mojang with a clean slate and no more content players were previously promised. So why do I think they could be introduced now? Well, there's been 2 major hints. The first major hint was a post a little while back by a developer. This post was centered around a glitch with camels, but if you look in the background, you can see varying heights of sand similar to how you'd find snow in colder biomes. The developer did come out and say this was nothing, but if it was nothing, why exactly was it there? What was the point of making it in the first place? Now, we haven't seen this new form of sand in anything since, but I think it likely could have been a test for the future. Besides the sand, we have a second teaser recently posted involving Jeb with a kangaroo while on vacation. Now, Xbox, the official account who posted this, similar to the sand incident, they also followed up the post by saying this wasn't a teaser. And while maybe that is actually the case, I think there is a strong chance they said it wasn't a teaser just due to the large and growing amount of people who believe it really was a hint for 1.22. So they wanted to avoid giving away the update theme. Now, as much as I would like to say the next update is going to be focused around warm climate biomes, these points mentioned may end up being nothing. I do personally think they were teasers, but that doesn't mean they're confirmed. Looking past hints and teasers though, many players have also just wanted another biome focus update similar to the update that changed the world, going back and overhauling a bunch of previous biomes to make them feel up to date with the rest of the game. This is currently the second most requested update, just following up the end update. Now the question is, if they do decide to do a biome theme update, would they choose to focus on just 1 or 2 of these biomes, or would they revisit a bunch of old biomes, including the Badlands and Lost Birch Forest concept art? Well, as much as I would like to see them visit all of them, I do have a feeling Mojang would choose 1 or 2 biomes to focus on and save the others for a future update. Even if they do choose to revisit these hotter biomes, they may not even add the vote features and instead do something completely different. But for the sake of the video, I want to look into revamped versions of all 3 biome vote losers, as they are all in hot climates, making it the perfect opportunity for a hot climate biome update. Starting off, let's take a look at the savannah biome, a biome introduced all the way back in 1.7 and has been basically left the same since. It did recently receive the armadillo, but so did the badlands, so it's not completely exclusive to this biome, and it still isn't enough to call the savannah complete. Now, if we take a look at the vote features for the savannah, we have termites, ostrich, and baobab trees. It wasn't actually stated what these features would do if introduced to the game, but I have a broad idea on how they could look if implemented. The baobab trees would simply just be a new large form of tree found in the savannah biome with no actual function besides looking nice and being impressively large. The new trees would also likely contain a new wood type, as we saw with the mangrove forest trees. As for the ostriches and termites, well, they could really do anything. I think a good guess would be to make ostriches rideable and have termites be used to farm wood. Ostriches could be ridden when equipped with a saddle, and in order to balance them with camels and horses, it would be slower but would jump up to 3 blocks tall, making it perfect for traversing mountains found in the hilly savannah biome. And when falling from height, the ostrich could flap its wings to slow down and prevent any fall damage, making the ostrich the perfect mountain climbing mob. And before I tell you what termites would do, I would like to take a quick pause in the video to remind you that liking this video is completely free and helps me out a lot. And if you're enjoying this video whatsoever, hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on another video just like this one. You did it? Great. Back to the video. As for termites, well, termites are known for eating and getting their nutrients from wood. I think the perfect function for them would be allowing you to find them in the savannah savannah and use a bottle to get a termite in a bottle. You could then place the termites down on a tree, which they would slowly eat away at, farming the wood for you. Now, why not just use an axe? Well, using an axe would be way more efficient, but the termites could be used to make all sorts of automatic wood farms instead. The other option would be to make termites drop a unique set of wood only obtainable by having termites eat away at wood, so no matter what the tree type would be, they would drop this new form of wood unique to them. Now, outside of the vote features, I'd like to go back to the photo of Jeb with the kangaroo. If this is actually a teaser, it's safe to say an update to the savannah would definitely include kangaroos. As for what a kangaroo would do, well, I think they'd be similar to the armadillo in the sense they can drop something to craft a new item when using a shear or a brush. I don't think kangaroos would be made to drop anything upon killing them, as Mojang have been steering the players away from killing new mobs as of lately. So what would they drop? Well, kangaroos are known for jumping, so I think it would be pretty cool if they dropped an item that allowed you to make a new type of boot that allowed you to jump much higher or bounce around the world when holding down the spacebar. This idea is definitely pretty rough, and I'm sure Mojang would come up with something better, but I still think it would definitely be a fun addition. The savannah really does have so much potential for an update, even outside of these features, that I wouldn't be surprised if they centered an entire update around just this biome and tapped into more mobs like elephants and lions. These are all the features that have been hinted at for the savannah, so let's move on to the next biome. The next biome I would like to discuss is the desert, another biome that is currently just very lacking. The desert really only contains the desert temples and villages. Besides that, the only feature introduced as of lately has been the camel, which is actually just specific to desert villages, not the desert. The desert is definitely in desperate need of a rework or an overhaul, and they could start with the biome vote. The desert's biome vote included palm trees, an oasis area, and meerkats. I think if we were to get a desert update, it would likely be introduced as a new biome variant rather than replacing the existing desert. Palm trees could be used to create two new sandy biomes, being beaches found by the shore, and then the tropical oasis biome, which could be found scattered throughout the desert. If you don't know what this oasis is referring to, well, it's often an area in a desert filled with plant life and some form of water body. It's like this lush little area in the middle of nothing. The new beach biome and desert variant could also have those sand layers mentioned earlier to serve as an extra layer of detail, and maybe we could even receive something like an exclusively ambient sandstorm that occurs when the rest of the world rains, just to add some more excitement to the biome. Now, for the mob, introducing meerkats as a new mob would be interesting, but there really isn't that much potential for their function. Meerkats really only scavenge for food in the real world, and like I said before, I don't think Mojang would want us to kill them. The best idea I could have for meerkats is having them spawn in the desert and randomly come up to you holding some form of food or fish to eat if you catch them. So basically, they'd be providing you food in the desert, which really has little to no food sources. Besides that, I kind of went blank for meerkat functions, as there's just not a lot of potential there. I don't think the desert really needs all that much, as it is supposed to be somewhat empty. If anything else were to be introduced to the desert, I think an updated version of the sand temple would be great, but this would likely be saved for another dungeon focused update, not a biome update. So with that, let's move on to the third biome. The third biome to be included in a warm climate biome update is the Badlands, and similar to both the desert and the savannah, the Badlands is severely lacking. Honestly, more than the other two. The Badlands, although visually very exciting, has little to nothing going on in it. All that can be found there is abandoned mine shafts and increased gold spawn rates along with armadillos. But like I said before, the armadillos are not exclusive to just the Badlands, as you can also find them in the savannah. The biome vote for the Badlands was less exciting than the others in my opinion, with less potential for a new biome variant and instead just a few new features. The features mentioned were dead bushes, vultures, and a new cactus variant. Dead bushes would serve purely as ambient and could drop sticks when broken. Vulture's function was to take some of your loot if you died. It then later got changed to circling your loot to indicate where you died. I am honestly not a huge fan of either of these functions, but if I was to choose between the two, I think adding the extra challenge of knowing that if you die, the vultures could take some of your loot would make it a little more exciting to traverse through, as you'd have to be a little more careful. Like I said though, not a huge fan of either functions. And last but not least, we had a new cacti variant. New cactus variants would actually be pretty cool, and while they only mentioned one, I think a new Badlands variant that's filled to the rim with varying forms of cacti would actually be a pretty great addition. The desert could also receive new cacti, but I think it would be far more beneficial to leave them for just the Badlands and give it something exclusive. The variants would come in different shapes and sizes, with some having harvestable flowers on it that could be used as a source of food when cooked, as really there's not a lot of ways to get food in the Badlands, so this would be a good solution. And outside of the biome vote features, I think the Badlands has some of the most potential for a new structure in the game. First off, we still need a Badlands village variant, and I think it would be so cool if they added a western themed village found in the Badlands. Maybe they could even give it an exclusive building like a bank or a saloon. And if we were to get western variants of the villages, I think a new pillager variant called the bandit should be introduced. They could be found riding horses throughout the biome and would be similar to the pillagers who come to your base and fight you, but except this time they're on horses, so they're faster, and they're wearing cowboy attire. Outside of the villages, I would also like to see simple structures such as old broken bridges between the peaks of the Badlands to really emphasize that old western vibe. And like I said before, I do think the Badlands could definitely benefit from a real dungeon-like structure, but that's definitely outside of a biome vote type update. So those are most of the features that I think would be found inside a warm climate biome update. Would we end up getting all 3 biome updates at once, or would they narrow it to 1 and focus on them 1 at a time? I'm not really sure. Personally, I'd rather see them update all 3 biomes in 1 update, but we're gonna have to wait and see. It's also important to mention that the update versions of these biomes are all likely going to be new variants of the biomes to avoid replacing the existing biomes, similar to what we got with the swamps and the mangrove swamps. Although we've only had a few teasers so far towards this update, I would definitely recommend keeping your eyes open for more future hints, because I do think there's a good chance this comes for 1.22. But hey guys, this might be a stretch and maybe I'm crazy. At the end of the day, this is just speculation. What do you think about these ideas? Would you want to see a warm climate biome update? Would you rather have them really focus in on 1 biome or split their resources to all 3? I would love to continue this conversation, so leave any thoughts you have down in the comments below. Now, if you did enjoy the video at all, a like is greatly appreciated and goes a long way towards helping the channel out. And if you really enjoyed the video, click that subscribe button, ensuring you never miss out on another video just like this one. That's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.